What do you think Storm versus Aquaman? The clash between the Queen of the Skies and the King of the Oceans, who will win? Storm, or Ororo Munroe, is one of the most prominent members of the X-Men. She possesses the ability to control all meteorological phenomena on a large scale, from creating storms, lightning, hail, to changing atmospheric pressure and temperature. Storm does not limit her power to combat, but can also have a profound impact on the ecosystem, even changing the direction of winds and atmospheric flows. With superhuman reflexes and the ability to fly by controlling the wind, she becomes an extremely difficult opponent to approach. Aquaman, or Arthur Curry, is the king of Atlantis and one of the most powerful warriors under the sea. He possesses physical strength far beyond that of a human, incredible movement speed both underwater and on land, and the ability to withstand the enormous pressure of the deep ocean. Aquaman also has the ability to communicate and control sea creatures at a sophisticated level, even mobilizing giants in battle. His signature weapon is the legendary Trident of Poseidon, which can cut through steel, control the tides, and project magical energy. Before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you very much. Storm, considered one of the most powerful mutants the world has ever known. Her powers extend beyond the creation and control of weather phenomena to an astonishingly sophisticated and devastating level. With just a thought, the sky above can turn from clear to dark, with thick layers of dark clouds swirling and accumulating enormous amounts of energy. Thunder rumbles throughout the air, lightning flashes tear through the night, and rain down on targets with enough destructive force to instantly defeat enemies. Storm can summon tropical storms, whip up whirlwinds that blow away everything, or cover the battlefield with freezing blizzards that paralyze opponents. Her ability to control wind currents allows her to fly freely through the air, and allows her to move flexibly between complex battlefields, quickly approaching or escaping danger. She can also manipulate electromagnetic fields, increasing the intensity of lightning or completely disrupting electronic devices, rendering modern defense systems useless. Storm's lightning strikes carry a terrifying voltage of billions of volts, enough to make the air around them 6 times hotter than the surface of the sun. The instant they strike, a blinding flash of light splits the sky and a thunderous boom shakes the ground. Ororo once easily disabled an entire group of Wakandan soldiers by depriving them of air, forcing them to suffocate in deadly silence. Her power is so great that she can bend the path of a giant storm hovering 70 stories above Rockefeller Center. Storm once summoned several fierce bolts of lightning, driving them towards Selene's monster. The energy compressed in each bolt was so strong that it completely severed its massive head. When her storm reaches its extreme freezing state, it can freeze opponents instantly, causing their blood flow to stop. Storm also has complete control over the air pressure around her, turning it into an invisible shield strong enough to deflect Iceman's icy attacks, causing them to dissipate before they reach her. And Ororo can burn the planet's atmosphere, and her rage has created auroras that can be seen all over the planet. Storm can summon multiple lightning bolts and is fast enough to react to laser attacks. And she creates an elemental cosmic disturbance that shields the entire planet from solar radiation. She is an energy manipulator and was able to overpower a Vulcan pod through a battle of wills, while later admitting that she went easy on him. She summoned a tsunami along with a rain of lightning that engulfed both Cassandra Nova and the abandoned island of Genosha. She single-handedly destroyed battle fleets across the city with little effort. And during Kunal's invasion of Earth with his dragon symbiotes, Storm was able to fight off an entire army of these dragon symbiotes. Ororo creates lightning so powerful that the sky seems to open up. However, the lightning attack knocks out the Avengers along with notable characters like Scarlet Witch, Thor, Vision, and Iron Man. The enemy admits that Ororo's storms can move worlds, and her lightning is powerful enough to shatter them into dust. Ororo reminds Iceman that she is also Omega level when it comes to hydrokinetics and ice magic, which is impressive considering Iceman, who is also an Omega in that category, can move the planet with ease, and has shown that when he lets loose, he has the ability to freeze space and time on a quantum level. Storm can create massive tornadoes in an instant to incapacitate opponents, while under X, man's control, Psylocke stated that she did not think the X-Men had a chance of stopping the conflict while Nate Gray took control of Storm, despite the presence of the X-Men with remarkable powers capable of causing great damage. After Psylocke freed Storm from X-Man's grasp, Storm proceeded to unleash a powerful lightning attack, allowing the telepaths the opportunity to completely separate X-Man from Legion. Storm pushed out energies that rendered the alien powerless and the alien capable of creating vast black holes on the surface of the Earth. And Storm subdued an interdimensional being that could spread chaos across the entire timeline, infecting all timelines in the process of creation. Storm linked her mind to Lactuca's mind to protect her from telepathic attacks from powerful telepaths like Xavier and Emma Frost. Storm would then proceed to overpower the members of the Sinister Council with a powerful blast of lightning, and at the same time create an all-encompassing storm along with a shower of lightning. Storm in her old days was empowered by Korra, allowing Storm to control the weather of the universe itself. This literally shook the universes and created a cosmic wormhole that sucked in an entire system located at the far edge of the universe. I really hope you subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot and you are the best. Thank you so much. Aquaman is considered one of the most powerful warriors on Earth, possessing enough strength to make Hercules, son of Zeus, bleed when he was in a chokehold during battle. Arthur Curry's physical prowess is often compared to Wonder Woman's, and he has even managed to escape from a chokehold by the Amazon warrior at times. This strength stems from the royal blood of Atlantis that runs through his veins. During a fierce battle with his own son, Triton, the god from the Olympian pantheon, Poseidon acknowledged and praised the magical power latent in Aquaman's bloodline. The royal lineage of Atlantis is what puts characters like Ocean Master, Mera, and Garth on a different level, far beyond the average Atlantean. They are capable of facing warriors at power level 100, where physical, magical, and willpower combine into a single force. When Aquaman enters battle, he is not only a king of the seas, but also the embodiment of mythical power, ready to challenge all enemies on land and in the water. Aquaman, the majestic king of the seven seas, possesses power that covers over 70% of the planet's surface area. When he steps into the deep water, he becomes a nearly invincible force, mastering the environment and preying on all intruders in his domain. The surrounding waters seem to listen to his commands, and in the blink of an eye, countless sea creatures rise to his call. Not just ordinary fish, but legendary monsters like the Kraken and giant squids, with tentacles that stretch like living towers, ready to crush any ship or opponent. Aquaman's physical strength reaches level 100, making him a match for the mightiest warriors in the world. Although he does not reach the strength of Superman, Aquaman is still a formidable opponent, especially when fighting in an environment that he dominates. What really surprised me was that Aquaman is not your typical arrogant, ladylike king. He took on the role out of duty, not because he was worshipped or served. He is there to fulfill his duty, not to abuse his power. He is willing to do whatever it takes to protect both the land and the water. In Throne of Atlantis, he realized that Atlantis needed a king, so he became one, even though he didn't want to. He is loyal to Mera and doesn't flirt with other women just because he is king. He has lifted a blue whale, casually jumped out of the water while carrying a cruise ship, used a warship as a battering ram to crush the dead king, etc. But perhaps his most impressive feat of non-combat power is this. Aquaman has essentially pushed two tectonic plates down, forcing them together to close a trench, or has the ability to break off part of one plate to force it against the other while swimming. Arthur has gone toe-to-toe with opponents strong enough to defeat both Superman and Martian Manhunter, including Titus, Lobo, and the Olympian. As early as the Silver Age, he demonstrated the ability to swim faster than Poseidon, a speed that would overwhelm ocean currents. In the New 52, Aquaman can easily travel faster underwater than a supersonic jet, reaching speeds of Mach 5 to Mach 10, leaving even sound behind in the swirling white water. Arthur has demonstrated the ability to leap at speeds equivalent to Mach 10, closing in on and disarming his enemies before they can react. Although Aquaman's durability in the Prime Earth timeline has been somewhat reduced, he can still swim through red-hot lava flows or dive deep into the frigid waters of the Arctic without suffering any damage or discomfort. In the New 52 era, he was scratched by machine gun fire, but his body was still bulletproof. However, this is still a clear regression from the New Earth version, where Orin was completely unfazed by any type of bullet. Aquaman once took a full blast from Starro, a blow that was enough to nearly destroy the new god Orion, but he simply shrugged and continued fighting as if he had not been affected. Aquaman is also known for his skilled fighting skills, superhuman reflexes, and keen deep-sea senses, including sonar hearing and the ability to see clearly in near-total darkness. Arthur, in particular, possesses a unique ability. He can unconsciously read the thoughts of those around him, which allows him to counterattack with such precision that it's nearly impossible to catch him off guard. It's well known that Aquaman can talk to fish. And yes, before Flashpoint, he actually talked to them. But even the most ferocious sea monster is no threat to someone like Darkseid. Unfortunately for his enemies, the ability to telepathically control sea life is only a small part of Aquaman's psychic powers. During the Golden, Silver, and Bronze Ages, many Aquamen were known to wield a trident on occasion, but the weapon didn't really become a central element of the Aquaman comics until Zero Hour. Aquaman is now best known for his trident, but few remember the terrifying power Orin wielded with Poseidon's trident, which he used to kill gods and destroy an Imperiex probe. In addition to its unparalleled piercing ability, Poseidon's trident also contained the power of the god himself, and he gave it to Aquaman after Orin saved him from Hades and defeated Triton a second time, not to mention fighting Hades' forces and beheading Cerberus and Charon. Not only was Poseidon's trident incredibly powerful, but it could only be wielded by someone worthy of its power, which was essentially limited to Aquaman. Storm possesses an innate resistance to telepathy, making it difficult for even psychic masters like Emma Frost, Jean Grey before her resurrection, or Xavier before he possessed the Macron crystal to penetrate her consciousness. On the battlefield, Storm has unleashed lightning bolts powerful enough to severely injure powerful heralds like Terrax, Silver Surfer, and Stardust. It was this power that helped her defeat the Adversary, an opponent considered on par with the Phoenix. Compared to Aquaman's abilities, the advantage is clearly in Storm's favor. Although Aquaman has a deep connection to the sea, can control and command all underwater life, even turning them into allies in battle, this advantage is still difficult to help him against a raging storm. Storm can not only float in the air, completely out of the reach of the sea, but also summon tsunamis and violent thunderstorms, sometimes equaling or surpassing Aquaman's water control. Aquaman's muscle density is 10 times that of a normal human, enough to knock Superman off balance, creating a resounding shockwave. However, when placed against Storm's elemental powers, this physical advantage is still no guarantee of victory, where the sky and the ocean collide, creating a scene both majestic and destructive. Aquaman is also gifted with similar abilities to Storm, such as the ability to control the weather, which is of course comparable but not on the same level as Storm's due to her perfect control of the weather, and is superior to any Omega with similar abilities in the Marvel Comics. She demonstrates this fact by tapping into mutant flesh that is capable of channeling psychic energy, accessing the fundamental forces that determine weather, such as the magnetic fields of planets, and using it to send robotic puppets through the stratosphere with their mindless cells frozen to death. His durability certainly surpasses Ororo's, but not her ability to manipulate pressure, nor her powerful lightning strikes repelling a Phoenix-empowered Emma Frost, who has been shown before, albeit weaker at the time, to nullify some energy-based attacks with frightening ease, but apparently couldn't do so with this particular lightning, as it came directly from Ororo, mostly due to Ororo's connection to the weather and its energy patterns, which has recently been explained to be more understandable, as she has the ability to speak and manipulate lightning in incomprehensible ways. Remember, Legion alone could fight Uranus in a fight beyond physics with the power of their crushing multiverse, so Aquaman wouldn't use his trident to absorb her lightning, as it couldn't be easily stopped by much more powerful opponents. Or she can stop Aquaman with pressure manipulation, which simply bends the atmospheric pressure of the entire Jupiter while confining it around Aquaman, causing him to feel the crushing weight of an entire world instantly. Storm has the ability to manipulate not only the weather, but also cosmic solar energy and space weather. She can lower the temperature below freezing, similar to Iceman, and freeze her opponents in a solid spot. She also has the ability to create nearly indestructible force fields with her electromagnetic powers. She can completely deprive an opponent of oxygen, or even trap them in a bubble, almost killing them on the spot. Storm can also control elements other than just weather. For example, fire, lightning, air, water, etc. And she often does this when creating tornadoes, hurricanes, controlling a solar flare herself. She can do whatever she wants. She is an Omega level mutant on par with Magneto and Apocalypse and Iceman and Legion in her class. Aquaman can control water, as long as he is near it. Many weather phenomena, even the ones Storm creates and controls, can be neutralized. However, since most of Storm's work takes place in the sky, it is out of his reach. However, water conducts electricity, so a lightning strike can kill him. I hope you enjoy this fight. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much.